We're starting things off today with Qatar and China. Well, the Chinese on the wrong end of their first game against the Philippines, and Qatar also on the wrong end of their first game against Iraq. Here is what we're going to be seeing today. These two teams followed by the Philippines and Iraq in a battle of 1-0 teams. Then it'll be India looking to bounce back from their devastating defeat to Iran and taking on Jordan. And then Iran will wrap things up later tonight against Syria. So here's what we have. Iraq and the Philippines up top. I guess Iraq the surprise package, so to speak, and followed by Qatar and China. And I don't think many people expected to see perhaps the Chinese down at the bottom, although the Philippines have been one of the consistently good teams the last few years. But you know, to take on the Far East Giants and beat them no matter where that happens, that's a big deal. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Mick Bett, and it's day 4. Mick, how you holding up?
Oh, thank you, Jeff. To turn my microphone on, that helps, doesn't it? Well, welcome everyone, and good afternoon, good morning, and wherever you might be. Great day ahead, Jeff. I think this groups A and B here provided so much entertainment on day 2 of this tournament, and we don't expect anything less today. Must win for Qatar. I think if they don't come through this game, that puts them in a do or die with the Philippines at 0-2, and they have to get a victory. The team that doesn't get a victory will drop down into ignominy in terms of dropping out the tournament, because the top 12 will only go through to a knockout format, which is complicated, but not that complicated, I guess. But you've got to get a win. So Qatar didn't look very good when they played the Philippines, when they played Iraq, and that was a surprise loss as far as we were both concerned. Iraq looked really sprightly and a little bit of energy. So what can they salvage from that defeat and then maybe manage to come up against the Chinese? And the Chinese, on the other hand, they'll be smarting after that loss to the Philippines. They will want to come out and show that they are really a true world powerhouse. I do not think the Qataris have it in their makeup, but you know what? I've said silly things before and been proved wrong.
Well, good afternoon, folks. Or maybe it's good morning. Or maybe it's good evening. Or buenas tardes. It's the FIBA Asia Cup. Obviously, it does, you know, wherever you are, we're not sure. Different time zones and all that. It's Qatar being introduced here to the crowd before their game against China. Both these teams losing their first games back on day 2. So now we are on day 4. And the madness of last night still firmly in our minds. Lebanon, the host nation, falling in a real thriller to a young and exciting New Zealand Tall Blacks team. And that's created an interesting setup in the standings, perhaps, that we can talk about as this telecast proceeds. Needless to say, this has been a terrific tournament. 16 teams. The addition of Australia and New Zealand have really spiced up what was already a great event. And we're now going to have the playing of the national anthem. So we'll have a pause in the telecast. So the national anthems have been played. It's always exciting. Chinese and the Qataris meeting at mid-court and exchanging pleasantries. See some familiar faces over there on the sidelines, the referees getting ready to do this game. I'm going to turn it over to you, Mick. Why don't you tell us who these guys are?
BT, Chen and Bathurst. I'm going to make an educated guess there, Jeff. Australia, Taipei, Chinese Taipei and New Zealand. Good to see, well, it's great to see Australia and New Zealand represented at the FIBA Asia Cup for the first time. I think it's, they are welcome guests, I would say, Jeff, and they've brought much entertainment so far in the first 3 days. There's our China lookout. Watch out for 6 for China. Guo Ailun fouled out in the loss to the Philippines, by far China's most outstanding player. Mr. Wu down the bottom there at, Mr. Hu, 21, I think will be the up-and-coming youngster of this tournament. About 7 foot tall, is truly a fine player. So Liu, Zhou Peng at 10, Ren, Wu and Han will start the game. So Guo Ailun will come off the bench, it seems. As for Qatar, they really put a hash of a game together against Iraq, and they will be looking for all sorts of efforts from 11 Ali Said Irfan. So we're losing our pictures slightly there. And the starters for Qatar, I'm sure 11 Irfan will be there. Omer Salam, 15. They'll be to play the main rebounding. Mohammed El Hadri and Saad. Number 6 El Hadri is a very good-looking, quick guard. Didn't quite get it going against Iraq, but I'm sure you want to get his game on track tonight, Jeff.
Well, you know, we would be remiss if we didn't discuss the Philippines-China game the other day. That was quite a lively affair. 48 hours ago, Philippines came out and laid the wood to a Dufeng's team. And, you know, there was an unsavory episode in that game involving Lee Gin.
Never saw it.
And Calvin Abueva. Abueva ended up headbutting Lee Gin and was ejected, but the evidence that I saw later, the video replay, suggested that Lee Gin should have been ejected as well. In fact, he instigated it with hard brush by forearm slash elbow to Abueva. So it was definitely, I think,
there's no doubt.
Let's put it this way. I think we came down pretty hard, perhaps justifiably on Abueva, because you don't want to react with a headbutt. But on the other hand, it takes 2 to tango. And this again, I'm sure the referees will be following it closely. Here you see Khalaf, the coach, Hatem Khalaf, and his team just never really got it into gear against Iraq. And I mean, it looked like they had pretty much taken the momentum away right before halftime. And then in the third quarter, Iraq were able to just raise their level. They were able to keep it going, and the fight and determination and the effort from Iraq, more than anything else, is what won them that game. So this Qatar team, if they're going to get anything done today against China, they need to dig deep, come out battling. Hello, everybody. If you're just tuning in, it's the FIBA Asia Cup 2017. And it's Qatar taking on China. It's day 4 of this competition. We're in the Middle East in Lebanon. And China trying to bounce back. And they get a pass down low. Zhou Peng goes up strong. And El Hadri commits the foul, or Salim, one of them.
Jeff, you gotta love Zhou Peng.
El Hadri.
He's a great shooter from the three-point line, and that's his main area of strength. But what I like about him, he's always looking to improve his game and get it knuckled in and down and dirty. Should have dived on the ball there, though, son. But you know, he's an improving player. He's one of their top players, and he needs to perform every game.
Irfan Ali C, the veteran, to the top of the key, has the ball.
As far as against Wu Tian here, 33. Just looking around the corner. He's nodding his head in agreement. Just wonder whether they're trying to find another great guard to come through, Jeff, to follow the in Guo Oilun's footsteps.
I'm guessing they will be. Doesn't mean he's out there, but you would figure in the size of country China is, he's got to be somewhere. And pitch down low, and bowling his way for China was the big fella.
Monday, June 55 there.
Big Han.
Yeah.
Now a little bit of pressure.
Qatar are going to have the hard time unless they limit these turnovers.
And now Salem really struggled the other night and has started here with a moving screen.
He wants to talk to the referee. The referee's run away from him. He's trying to explain what's going on. That's back-to-back turnovers, Jeff. They've not even taken a shot yet.
Yeah, he was, you can see, kind of slid in just a tad late on the replay.
Jeff, a question for you. Does a offensive foul like that, as we see the play? Nice play.
Big Han goes in, and they're going to count it.
Yeah, he's a big man. Nice pass from Zhou Peng too. Jeff, does an offensive foul when you set a bad screen like that count as a turnover too?
It does, yes.
When it goes down to stats as turnover?
It does, yeah. It should.
Yeah, we should check that, shouldn't we?
I'm just going to look, but I'm almost 100% positive.
I mean, it should do. I agree.
So the three-point play extends China's lead.
2-1 press here from China. We don't often see that, but just changing momentum a bit.
El Hadri rims out, and not a good start for the Emirates.
No, it was Saad, I think, chasing in for the offensive rebound. None of the big guys wanted to venture in there that quickly.
And the floating drive, and it looks like Khalef is going to have to get a timeout here as China race into a 9-0 lead.
He's not going to be long for a timeout, that's for sure. He might give it another bucket or so.
I mean, at this rate, China are going to win it by 150 to 20.
A country mile.
Ali Seed fumbles it, gets it back.
Again, China starting this as they go back into a zone from the 2-2-1 press because they don't feel they can match up man-to-man that quickly.
Ali Seed, and he gets the friendly roll.
It's a soft rim up there, isn't it? Both of these rims have softened up since day one.
So Irfan gets on the board. Just looking to confirm that stat for you. Yes, it was indeed a turnover. The offensive foul.
Yeah.
Long jump shot off target by China's number 33, Wu. And now another three-pointer, so from Nizo. So that'll be perhaps boosting the confidence of Qatar.
Got him right back in the game, isn't it? 2 shots back to back. Both teams in zone here. Very, very bizarre. But,
three-pointer from Ren. Ren got into foul trouble against the Philippines.
Yeah, that was a fun game, Jeff. That was just an outstanding bit of entertainment.
It really was. That was the best day of basketball we've seen. And the miss from Salem, except for when Lebanon played, their games were always fun with the crowds.
So in order of 1, 2, 3, what do you reckon? China, Philippines first, New Zealand, Lebanon, maybe first.
I think the Philippines will finish first.
No, I mean in terms of excitement, which was your exciting game?
Oh, that's a good one. I think maybe Syria for me was the most interesting.
Well, last night's game, New Zealand, Lebanon.
Oh yeah, without question, that was number 1 overall. And the follow, or the reverse from Irfan Ali Saeed.
You know, Coach Du Feng was obviously a little upset that his team got beaten by the Philippines. He will not want his team to let Qatar back into this.
Long miss from Liu, but another chance for Zhou Peng, and he goes in and scores.
Yeah, that's a good play. Zhou Peng's a scorer. When he's looking to catch that ball, he's always looking to put pressure on the defense.
Oh, nice press break, and now that freed up Saad, but he chose not to challenge big Han in the low post. There's Saad again. And Ali Said could have come down with it, but decided to attack.
Did well there, China, to make sure they didn't give up points.
And now the pass to Han. And outside to Rin.
The referee to say this is on the sideline. The Ren was, although he did shoot and score, the referee's going to say it's before he even went into the motion of shooting. So Jeff, look at this 5 on the floor for China now. Which of these 5 do you put in? I'm not going to say world class. It's like B category world class player.
Maybe Zhou Ping.
Yep. Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And which of these are to play on a top European team?
That's a tough question. As China tried to get something, but get nothing before the shot clock expires.
Yeah. And again, it's.
I mean, what are you talking about? Playing just being on the roster, or playing?
Yeah, so let's take away France,
10
Spain.
minutes a game.
Take away France, Spain. Okay, which of these players would get on a backcourt right there?
Oh boy, I think he had already left his feet and hadn't landed yet. Yahia perhaps got away with one. Hadri now. Saad off the iron. Well, the point, I mean, the thing is China, and they play in China.
Yep.
And they want to get better by playing in China. And there's nothing wrong with that. They've actually imported a lot of also good players. Han gets in, and powerful move inside.
Yeah, just did a great job of just getting a couple of dribbles in before the double team came. I think the double team's got to come a little sooner next time.
Said, again, and gets the friendly roll the second time from a three-pointer.
Looks to coach with his hands up and say, well, I'll take it. I wish a few of my shots had done that, Jeff, over the years. That's a real friendly roll, isn't it?
El Hadri knocks the pass away. Erfan Ali Said. Is your point that China haven't come with their best team? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. This is their second. They've got 2 teams, right? And they have 2 teams, and there's good teams in both teams. There's good players in both teams, as far as I understand, right?
Yeah.
It's not like an A and a B.
No, they just split them up, and then they took players off each.
Yeah, it's China blue and China red, I think, as far as I understand.
And just a sloppy turnover, and really. Look at Yahia drive in, and that was a ridiculous attempt. But fortunately for him, the best player in the court, Saad, was there for the follow and the putback.
Yeah,
nice China, their lead is 16-13. And I've got to be honest, Mick. I mean, this is extremely poor from China. I mean, they look awful.
Oh, okay, so now you're getting to my point. You see, this is where I'm getting to, I guess. You know, you're looking for China to make the move to the next level. Obviously, they've put a lot of money into their professional league. You know, a lot of money goes into those clubs because they pay the foreigners a lot of money. I'm sure they pay the Chinese players a lot of money. Even the domestic women's league is getting a lot of cash. So you'd expect some product when you get to the national team. That's my question. You look at these guys.
Well, what I would like to see, along those lines, I would encourage China to do it. If they ever thought about it, would be to try to export some of their talent to other countries, be it the USA, be it somewhere in America, be it Europe. Just to expose them to something different. Irfan has the 8 points, by the way.
At a younger age, yeah. I agree.
But could they play for a top European team? Could they play for a European team? Which European league are you talking about?
Just talk national teams. So if you took
would you take any of these guys and put them into a national team?
Okay, so take France and Spain out because they're lock-ins. You got NBA talent all the way through
you
those
could
both
put, I'm a huge fan of Antoine Dio, but I think you could potentially put Guo in there, and he could possibly compete alongside him.
That was my question. See, the 5 on the floor, which didn't include Guo. See, Guo to me is the one and only one outstanding player on this team.
Right.
World class. Now Guo is right up there. Now Chopin is probably the next level. He's a B lister.
But the only
maybe.
way you can say if he's world class is if he goes and plays in a world class league with world class players.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah,
then you
great
see how
point.
he fits in.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah. There's Guo here, 6 in the game, which is good to see. I love watching him play.
I mean, he was clearly the best player for China the other day, and probably on the court in the second half until he fouled out.
Yeah, well, Al-Hadri's just hustled Chopin out of that rebound.
Saad drives in and scores. And, you know, coming in before this game and the way it started, I was like, wow, China are just going to roll up a huge number. And all of a sudden, I see no defense. I see turnovers. I see mistakes.
No, you're right.
And Guo drives right down the lane. I see no defense from Qatar either.
Well, they went man to man there, Jeff. They went out of their zone, just turned it to man slightly, and Guo just finds the seas just open up.
And Saad flies in and gets rejected by Hu. And the young man that had a double-double the other day picks up a foul.
I'm not sure. Was it Hu or the?
Yeah, Hu. Who picked up the foul?
Yeah, it was a strange one because
I'm not saying.
I thought the foul was on the other guy.
Can I just say I'm not saying who picked up the foul. I'm saying who picked up the foul.
Yeah,
As a statement.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And I'm saying Saad missed.
Who is shooting now?
A free throw. And we thought he was going to carry Qatar. I thought he was going to lead them to victory the other day, right before halftime, and then.
Had 23 points, didn't he? 37 minutes he played.
It was a one-man show for them.
Yeah.
And he was it. And nobody else really was able to raise their level to his level.
No. He was 5 for the game so far, so good for him.
Look at Guo handling the ball inside. Zhou Ping drives in, puts up an air ball. Saad and Qatar looked relatively comfortable. I mean, what in the world is Salim doing? And then the bumble. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, was that Salim with the turnover?
No, it was Mohammed.
Sorry, that was Mohammed. Sorry, Salim. I didn't mean to have a go at you. If I'm the coach of Qatar, I'd take Mohammed out right now. There is no reason for a behind-the-back pass in that situation. You're overcomplicating things.
Yeah. He had 3 fouls in 3 minutes the other night, so maybe the coach is going to wait 3 more minutes. I know Mohammed has come in for
Who makes the first?
Sorry, he's coming for Omer Salam, giving a break, so that's why probably a rest substitution, so he can't afford to bring him out too early.
Lee Gin's in the game, by the way, number 12, so you want to watch him. Guo for 3, good.
Yep, he'll light it up.
Oh, nice pass ahead. And Yahia just floats in and scores. He just threw it over the defense.
Unbelievable, isn't it? You're playing a 2-2-1 press. The guards are putting it extra, and the one pass just kills the press. It's amazing how.
Well, which player let it down then?
Chopin just let the ball right out. I'm not sure what position he was supposed to be in. Looked like a 2-2-1 press rather than man-to-man.
Here's Lee Gin. Bounce pass to Hu. 3 seconds on the young man.
Now watch it. It's Hu that goes to the back of the press. He's going to come to the front of the press. So it's man-to-man now.
Look at this. Well, it's just 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Al-Hadri. Yahia. Gets it to Saad. Yahia Ooh, almost traveled over to side. Long one and buries the three. And taps his head, his leg, and says, okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
What's this, a man-to-man zone? Looks like a man-to-man again, but
he's got 8 points already. And the answer.
Yeah, Chopin's, he's a stand-up shooter. There's no doubt about it. Look at this, Jeff.
Again, and this time side. Didn't catch it.
Nice work from the youngster there. Yu De-hao.
Nevertheless, and the block called on Qatar.
A tough call there because Guo Loon just barreled over. I know it was Saad or Al Hadri. Not sure where the reach is from. Well, look at that left arm push out.
I don't think so. I think he was trying to bait the referee into calling it El Hadri.
I think he flapped a bit.
I think he had his hand extended, but I didn't see him really push off. China trying to build towards the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2019, which they will be hosting. And the evidence that we've seen so far, they've got a long way to go if they're going to be contenders.
I mean, they got some good players in the other team, that's for sure.
Well, Yi Jianlin.
Yep.
And you've got
Zhou Qing.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not here. And this is the Asia Cup. So that's unfortunate. So that's the end of the quarter. We would have thought maybe a long pass would have been appropriate there up the court.
Yep.
But maybe they didn't want to turn it over. China lead at 27-21 over Qatar after one.
All the 10 points, last 10 points, because of you. You go ahead, he beat you.
Having watched the first quarter, Mick, we'll come back to that. So as we look at the stats, having looked at that first quarter, you see China shooting the ball extremely well, but Qatar as well. So do you think Qatar have a realistic shot at winning this game, or do you see China being able to turn it up a notch like they did against the Philippines?
You know,
will they turn it up a notch?
Yeah, I think the second quarter will be the telling part. Once the dust has settled on this one, Qatar have hit 21 and China 27. A true team stops other teams scoring, and that's where China will prove themselves to be either a truly good team or just another decent team. And I think maybe the next 10 minutes will tell me a lot more about this Chinese team, whether Qatar is still hanging around or China have just upped the tempo a bit, turned the screw a little bit. If you look at the board, Jeff, Guo Loon has played, I'm guessing 3 minutes of play, 4 minutes maybe, and already he's got 7 points. So that tells me straight there that we were right in identifying him as one of the top players in this team. He only played 3 minutes. 3 minutes of basketball, he's the top scorer on the team.
So you're saying that illustrates your point, that he's the #1 player in this team?
Yeah, he's the only player they got.
Well, no, they've got 11 other guys. He's the only good player they've got, you mean?
Yeah.
Or no, the only player you think that is got a shot to make the World Cup team?
Yep.
Or do you think these other guys might develop quickly enough to make it?
You know, it's
a
great question. Yeah, I mean, look, this young man here, 19. I was talking to him in practice. Speaks very good English.
Does he?
Yu De-hao. Yeah.
Oh, look at Saad though. Well, did okay there.
Every guard should be watching Guo Loon's progress and how he practices. I remember I've seen this kid at 16 years of age on the national team, and Bob Donald, the head coach of the team, then said this kid can play. And you know what? He's been around this team, and he's got better and better and better. But you make a great point. You're not great until you play against the greatest, do you?
That's right. Again. Again. And again misses again. So
Jeff, here's my point.
Yeah, the point is, you know what? We just want to see. I would just like to see how he would function in a team, maybe with some players at a slightly higher level.
Yep.
If his level would stay high, I think it would. Saad off to the right.
I'm going to come back to that point in a minute. Let me elaborate a bit further, sort of, or hypothesize further after that. Little zone again here for Qatar.
Whoa, look at the dribbling. Magic. Now here's the question I have for you. Guo can do what he just did, dribbling behind his back through his legs, and it looks fantastic. And it looks like he can go one-on-one. But then he makes the simplest of passes to the corner or to the wing, and the ball just goes out of bounds.
Well, Udihau's been subbed out because he should have caught that. He's the youngster on the team. And he's gone out. It's the first time I've seen a player bow both sides. That used to be the old school China, didn't it?
But does he fumble that because he thinks
it was slightly a bad
Guo
pass.
is doing so much that he thinks he's going to go one-on-one?
Wow, look at this, up wide open here.
Mohammed. Well, if you can't take the three-pointer, if you can't go to the three-pointer, take the three-pointer to Mohammed. Is that how it goes? Anyway, the drive and no charge, so China go up by 8.
They give the ball out. Fans just got off of the floor. He's holding his wrist, and then he's flick the ball back to him. You bring it up.
Mizo. Oh, Mohammed. And draws the foul. What was Guo doing fouling Mohammed?
Yeah, I don't know. Just brought him forward on a...
Oh, no, it was Li Ming who got the foul. Watch.
Yeah, you're right there. Li Mu Hao.
No, Li Mu Hao, okay. Yeah, Li Ming has actually retreated. No, there he is. He's in the paint. Okay, Mohammed again.
Nice hustle there. Who's that? Yahia.
So the thinking right now appears for Qatar to be, Mohammed, it's okay for you to shoot the 3 to try to pull out the big man and open things up.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem. He's got to make it, though. That's a tough
nice
shot.
touch from Ali Saeed.
Hasn't he played well today? A couple of threes that bounced around in a friendly fashion. Leading all scorers in the game, double figures.
And the rebound from Ali Saeed, and Qatar just hanging around.
Yeah, and you look at the Chinese offense, they really are struggling. Come up with some sort of consistency. There's a nice little one-on-one here, Jeff. Oh, no.
He could have. Oh, look at Mizo just explode to the basket and draws the foul as well.
Yeah, Li Gen just got caught for a bit of speed there, the number 12. I guess it's possible, Jeff, for Philippines and China to meet again in the tournament, isn't it? Maybe the last day in the...
Well, at this rate, the way China are playing, they might not advance even to the next stage.
I'm just thinking of Li Gen. You talked about the provocation that went on, and that's going to linger on for the next game these guys play, I'm sure.
There's no doubt about it.
No love lost. This zone for Qatar is really causing all sorts of problems for China. Look how deep they are in the shot clock.
Well, three-pointer off the back of the iron. There's Gu with the rebound, and those second chances, China capitalizing. Guo.
Yeah, it's a good play. Good play.
Already 9 points.
A little acceleration. Saw the seam in the zone and just took it.
Irfan goes in and scores with the reverse. It's a offensive show right now for both teams.
Guo Ailun was so irate with the defense here. Look at this spin move. This is just too easy. Look, whoa, now you see me, now you don't. Not sure where the foul was. And that's El Reyes, Jeff. He's in the States somewhere, isn't he? Got a feeling he's in college somewhere. The young man, 42 in the game.
Shot is good. I'm just going to double check here. Are you checking?
Yeah, I'll check for you. Here's Guo again. They're going to need him big time here. Guo Ailun.
Nope. All right, it's going up there, but teammate getting the ball. Saad drives, scores with the left hand. Caltech University?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is he still there? Anyway, sorry, Jeff. Go on.
Good question.
I know that's what he was down for on the website. This is good defense here from Qatar, just controlling China all the time.
And China failed to get a shot off. So it is the good times have not returned to China.
Gu Quan there, wide open three, and wants to put the ball on the floor as the shot clock goes off. That's going to be a seat on the end of the bench, right to the end. How on earth? And Du Feng has gone right down there and said, listen, you got to know what's on that clock.
Saad fakes and now explodes and he hangs. And El Reyes challenges for the board.
You got the foul too? Yeah, he has 42. Yeah. Jeff, let's go back to Guo. You made the point about if you don't play against the best, you can't be considered the best or greatest. Yeah. So, what's stopping? There's a replay here of the foul from El Reyes. So just a little push there, a little slap. What's preventing Guo going to the NBA? Trying out in the NBA. He's good enough. I think the reason is.
You think he's good enough? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's good enough to sit on a bench.
Maybe.
Good enough to.
Penetration drive.
Well, here's my point.
That's the area where the NBA is stocked.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, he's tough. Here's my point: is that I think the Chinese basketball league prevents him from going to the NBA. I.e., the wages are good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Why leave when you can earn this here?
So if the Chinese wages in that league are so good that they don't want to go away, then the point is, are you going to improve that much if you're the best Chinese player in the league?
Well, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could argue that about any developing country where basketball is. Second one is good.
Well, how many leagues manage to keep all their domestic players in the country?
I mean, are you going to stay where you earn more money and get more minutes and you're a bigger star?
Oh, no, exactly right. Exactly right. But how many leagues in the country their best players actually play in their domestic league?
And now Yahia drills the three-pointer.
Wow, they
and
got
Qatar have taken the lead. Didn't see Yahia coming from nowhere.
Yeah, outstanding. This is a real cracking game now, Jeff.
And Li Gan answers with a three-pointer.
Yeah, that's and Coach Khalaf down there is going crazy. He's going absolutely ballistic. The zone leaves Li Gan that wide open. It shouldn't happen. Somebody should have tracked him through.
Now the pass goes out of bounds from Muhammad. And I don't know if Mizo.
He's having to go at Mizo for not running fast enough. Well, we talked about the second quarter being a defining moment for China. How good were they going to be?
Well, here you go. And Han and Mohammed are exchanging words.
Han says, you can't talk to me.
Maybe Russia would be a league where the top players stay, with the exception of Mozgov.
Yep.
Alexis Shved tried the NBA and then he came back.
Yep.
I think he could have stayed.
I think most Russians, outside of a couple that are in the NBA, stay in Russia. You're right.
Whoa. Saad drifts to his right, gets it to Mohammed, and Mohammed hasn't shown me he can knock down that shot yet. Guo gets in lane, misses.
Good positivity from Guo there. Took it on.
You know, you've also had instances where you've had players like top Spanish players. Saad drives in and misses, but draws the foul.
See, Spain would be a league where I think.
Well, they would. I mean, still, the Pau Gasol, Marc Gasol, Alex Abrines, those guys can get NBA contracts and earn good money and play. Here, look at Saad again, driving in. And, wow, this game could go down to the wire the way it's going. There's a timeout on the floor. But Spain, back to your point, which country has its best players staying? Obviously, you're not talking about the USA.
No.
Because and even Canada.
And not even the NBA. So take away the players that go to the NBA.
Okay.
So now which country
Spain.
keeps after Spain does exactly right.
Greece, probably, with Panathinaikos, Olympiakos.
A few in Russia, though, aren't there?
We have
A few have gone out to
I think
Russia.
the main ones are
We have
with the big clubs.
Abdurrahman Yahya. You go here, huh? Or
They
you
do
go
not
to
stay in
Nasser?
France.
No.
Go here.
Italy?
Nasser.
No.
Oh.
Turkey,
this side.
probably.
So
Yeah.
we go to Trab here. And they're passing the ball to the corner. Nasser, you go. Papis, you come here.
Qatar?
再走个圈儿，让里面挂着。
他如果说连到
还得别对人，周鹏我们做
Do
一下
thing.
这个。
Where is China getting it wrong? I mean, is this just a talent thing for them at this Asia Cup?
就连二，如果他在
I
You're
think.
talking about the defending
I
champions.
think, in my honest opinion, there's a lot of money going into it, and then all of a sudden, once you throw money at people, how much do I need to improve now to make myself even better?
No, where's China going wrong here?
Oh, in this game,
in this tournament.
they're not hungry.
They're just not hungry.
Just not hungry, Jeff. There's
So they've eaten too much at breakfast.
There's an element here that they're not. They don't want it bad enough. There's that fight. I don't know. Not quite there. Offensively, I don't see.
There's no fight on defense.
Yeah, absolutely no.
And I mean, to be fair, I'm not seeing much fight from Qatar on defense either. But this type of game seems to be something that they can play.
Yeah, this is the no defense summer league.
It really is.
It's.
And we did see China turn up the pressure on defense against the Philippines in the second half, but we haven't seen it now. And look at that. Lee holding his nose like he got hit. Here's Guo, spins, back to Zhou Peng, and Zhou Peng hits the three.
So I guess in some ways, Zhou Peng will come out and just drop those. That's, I mean, against the zones, you don't have to do too much to get an open three. You've got to get the right players with the right positions.
And Saad misses. Now Guo quickly pushes it, hands it off, and good break. Finished by Zhou Peng. And now the turnover into the hands of Guo. And he's going to explode and get fouled by Al Reyes.
Go back 20 seconds, Jeff. Zhou Peng comes flying in, makes a nice layup, good classic finish. What does he do as he jogs back on defense? Did you see it?
Who was that again?
Zhou Peng just now on the layup. After he makes the layup.
Yeah.
Did you see what he did after he made the layup?
No, what was it?
Holds both hands up in the air.
Oh, yeah, he's looking for a foul.
Wants a foul.
Yeah.
Now, what does that tell you? To me, you're playing, you're watching too much show ball.
Yeah.
You
Just
know,
get back and play D is what you're saying.
I know full well if you go to the CBA in China, the Americans, every time they get fouled or pushed, it's not called. They're having a little natter at the referee. The arms go up. Give me a call. Give me, because the crowd love to see it. So now it's creeping into the Chinese players' game. You know, you didn't get the call because the referee didn't give you the call. What makes it deserve that you deserve a call after? You got the bucket.
So say you take a hard Serbian coach like Ivkovic or Pezic.
That doesn't happen.
You know, they're telling you just to get back and play defense.
Exactly right.
Or they're pulling you out. In fact, they're probably pulling you out of the game.
Exactly right. To me, there's an element here where you're playing, you're putting yourself on a pedestal like you deserve something. You didn't get it. You know, move on.
Have we seen Australia raise their arms like that after any plays?
That's a good question.
I don't think so.
No, I think you're right. Yeah. You know, I think
Lebanon, yes.
Sometimes you'll get a look to referees. Like,
Yeah.
come on, and we see any more of that during the game, because to me there's an entitlement there that shouldn't be there.
These two teams played a couple years ago. Obviously, different players involved with Yi, especially with China. China won that game 89-65. And when you were at the Asian Championship, these two teams played as well back in 2013, and Qatar lost. But it was like in a classification game, 96-85. Do you remember that one? Vaguely?
I remember yesterday.
Okay, so it's 6 points to lead now for China.
Poor turnover there as Ali Said fan. I'm not sure how he can get that wrong as a pass to Saad. Yeah, it's a good 7-point lead, Jeff, now. It's a good little lead going into half-time for China. They've inched their way back into dominance. But you always get the impression that Qatar just a couple of moves down the other end and they're back in it again.
Whoa. And Lee stepped out of bounds. He was out of bounds when he caught the pass.
That's a poor mistake to make, isn't it? Poor mistake.
Irfan Ali Said. Oh, why'd he give it up? That's why. He gives it to the young man.
I think he felt sorry he knocked over the Chinese defender, I think that's what it was.
He's making it look like he wasn't attacking the basket.
Yeah.
Smart move from Ali Said, has been really good. 41-36, 40 seconds remaining in the half, and Saad committed the foul. Not understanding why he commits that.
Yeah, tough one, isn't it? Because you got to play smart D. Just don't reach. Liu's going in, but there was help on its way.
Looking back at previous Asian championships, I don't see Qatar having won any of their meetings.
No.
So,
yeah. It might be a first today if they don't, China don't shake themselves out of this
slumber.
Yeah.
Second one is good. So the lead goes to 42-36. And Mizo attempts the long one. So China can hold it for the last shot. Al-Mufta's in, by the way, number 10 for Qatar. Here's Guo. Dribbles between the legs, frees himself, and knocks in the open jump shot. And I left the coach like, why don't we try to throw the ball up the court, try to get a last-second shot. It's 44-36 China at halftime.
Jeff, you look at those numbers there. Qatar shooting very well, 9 of 16. China 73%. They only missed 4 shots inside the arc. Only taken 27 shots in the half. That's pretty a low number, really. Rebounds quite low as well. Assists in favor of China. And for an 8-point game, Qatar are right in this one, and that would be the shock of the tournament if they turn this one over.
So 44-36, China on top of Qatar at halftime here at the FIBA Asia Cup in Beirut. We'll be right back.
Since we went far, and we should all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out Father, stand by and we will watch the flames burn over on the mountainside. And if we should die tonight, we should all die together.
44-36. China on top of Qatar. It hasn't been easy for China. And Qatar, perhaps they should be even closer, but a little burst, a little flurry there at the end. A flurry of points for China, and led by Guo, allowed them to open up an 8-point lead. And they're not out of the woods yet. China would have come to this tournament perhaps missing some faces, but just by the nature of being China, the defending champions, you know they have aspirations of playing well here, getting to the podium and doing something that's going to raise eyebrows, make perhaps CBA president Yao Ming proud. But they've lost their first game to the Philippines, and Dufeng's team here has had some shaky moments against the Qatari team that lost its first game the other night to Iraq. So Mick, it's put up or shut up time really for China. You know, I'm guessing we don't want to be too overly critical of any team here. We just have to call it like we see it, and you know, from our standpoint, maybe a little more intensity or effort on defense from China, and things will change.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I think it's going to come. It's going to come. It's a slow process and may not come in today's game totally, but I think through this tournament they will figure out the intensity that head coach Dufeng there, if we can see the back of him, is looking for. I've seen him in practice. He gets after the players, so he knows what he's doing. Ex-player. It was 2 Olympics. Who is that, Jeff? Not quite sure. I can't remember. I'll have to look at my notes on that. But he is definitely, no doubt about it, trying to get this team to that next level.
You talk about 2 Olympics for Guo.
No, for head coach Dufeng.
Oh, Dufeng, yeah, he played 2004.
Yeah, I'm not
I was
sure.
looking the other day.
The Olympics in 2002 in Sydney, I'm not sure either, but
I can tell you right now.
But listen, guys,
Hold
like
your horses.
Abdurrahman and Mizo, you're here. So if you see the defense on this side, go so they can pass you the ball. If you see defense this side, so come here so they can pass you the ball on that tackle. See, where is the defense? We play one on
If you
defense.
go to the archive, there's
so you
a
take
big
the
thing and
point
a thing
guard.
do. This is where the problem lies.
Yalla, Papis, let's go.
But yeah, he played in 2008 at the Olympics that were in his homeland in Beijing. In 2004 he played, and that is all.
that's right. He played in the
So he
most watched game ever in
Against
TV
the USA?
history against the USA in 2008.
Are you sure, or are you just saying that because he was there he had to have played?
He was a main.
No, he played 6 minutes,
Yeah,
didn't
that's what I'm saying.
score.
He was a main man.
He was a reserve by that point, I think.
It was a 20-point blowout. I'm sure he got in at some point.
Well, third quarter action underway. And long shot, no good. I will say this about Dufeng, the China coach, when he played in 2004, he will have remembered the game that he played against what was then Serbia and Montenegro. The last decisive game determining whether China would advance or Serbia Montenegro would advance to the quarterfinals. And he had 12 points and 5 rebounds in that game, and China won it 67-66. And I'll never forget the tears from the Chinese players in that game. They were coached by Del Harris and Jonas Kazlauskas. Nice pass inside, and now it's Qatar guilty, just kind of like, let's just go stand in our spots and have a run through.
Beautiful look from Chopin.
Mohamed gets it back to Saad now. Is either of these teams going to knuckle down on defense?
Well, Jeff, that's a great point. I'm just looking at that press. The press was broken. Qatar had a shot on basket. 3 players were stood walking at half court. Now, to me, when you're in a press, nice look past there. What happens when you get beaten on the press? You sprint back to the lane, don't you? And it wasn't happening.
And another basket for Qatar. And look who it is this time, Al Mufta, his first basket. And now it's back to a 6-point game.
And again, you know, we've seen some teams here make or miss. That ball gets down the far and they play at high pace. This Chinese team does not play at a high pace at all.
Here's Big Han. Well, he does. Guo does.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And Chopin misses. And the pass over to Guo. And Guo hits it. And
he's a a talent.
He is
Great
a talent.
shooter.
He was wide open, but he did have to make it.
Yeah, yep. Now we get an idea, Jeff, just to have an idea. I mean, we're on the negative here. The Chinese players, when the ball goes in the bucket, do you walk down the other end or do you sprint down the other end?
Should sprint.
Should sprint.
And the pass into the low post. Do you think these guys have been playing too much basketball? Perhaps. Again, Ren with the foul. And we don't want to, we're just trying to figure out what it is where we're not seeing perhaps the intensity that you would expect. Have they played a lot of basketball this summer?
No.
Jeff,
Jeff,
they've been on some tours.
Jeff, look at the jersey they're wearing.
Exactly. There's not a better thing you can do in your life than to wear the shirt of your country. Look at how proud these Qataris are to be playing for their country. And look at the Chinese. They're proud, but they got to show it. Here's Guo. He certainly shows. Look at this. And Muhammad reaches up and knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, I think Muhammad gets very lucky here because if he gets this slightly wrong, Guo goes to the foul line. He's going to get bowled over.
Nice pass. Han. And then two things. Hair is turning gray from the sidelines. Look at Muhammad handle the ball.
Now, what we do? Walking down the floor. Jeff, we walk in, we're going to run.
Well,
we're walking.
Both teams are walking.
You know, that's half my point. It's your attitude, mental resilience to a ball going in a basket. There's nothing. Nice play from Ren there.
Look at the bounce pass to side. Backdoor. That time it was Guo that was caught backdoor. Seeing a couple of substitutions coming for China.
Yep, get some injection.
They hope. Here's Guo. They're going to give it to him. He's just going to ride in and put it up off the glass and in.
Now, that's a great move there from Guo, but that might be an element in his game where, okay, can you get it and play in the NBA? Because that needs to go down. You're not going to get away with that anywhere in the world, are you? At any high level.
No. Muhammad pulls up. Nobody underneath the basket for the rebound.
Yeah, no, it's just it's unfortunate that because Ali Said Irfan perhaps could have got in there.
Into the corner again. Time it was Ren off target, and now a 2-on-1 break. And where's China? They're lucky that the pass was up ahead of Mizo. And what's Muhammad doing? Does he need to come out for a breather? He's just come down the court.
I think he was hoping he wasn't having to make the trip.
And now Mukta gets rid of it. And Big Han goes up for the rebound. And Muhammad lazily reaches over and fouls the player to stop the break. Surely Muhammad has to come out with that effort. Here he is.
Yeah, it's 4 fouls too, Jeff.
How do you pick up your 4th foul on that play?
Just wasting that one? Yeah.
I just...
You know, there's elements that says, well, let's just get back on D, son. Get back on D and play some D. Referee just making sure that everything's done correctly. i.e. the referee has to usher a substitute into the game. You can't just run in and run out.
So it's Omer Salim that has come into the game. Number 15 for Muhammad. Bounce pass, and Ju goes up and met a wall there. Ali Said goes up and brings it down.
Good move from Hu. You know, you got drew contact, but you got to finish it because there's no call coming your way.
Yu Deheu chasing around. And the foul's going to be on Gu Kwan.
And I think now this is a 5 on the floor for China. Well, okay, we've got Guo off the on the bench. He's got 17 points in the game, leads all scorers in the game. Now, which of these Chinese players could step into the frame?
And the defense that time does force a turnover.
Good defense there. You got Yu is the youngster. Yu De Hao is 19. 5 is Liu Xiaoyu.
Well, just drifting into the corner, Gu, and another rebound for Qatar. Trailing by 9.
Yeah, this will be Gu coming out. I'm not sure.
Oh, look at Mizo.
Oh,
I'm just going to go all the way, and I'm just feel like putting my head under the table.
That's the defensive intensity, Jeff, that has to improve. So Li Gen's going to come in. I'm going to predict he's going to come in for Gu 9.
Well, let's see who he comes in for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who is it going to be?
I think coach has told him.
Who's coming out, coach? Oh, it's going to be Zhu Peng.
Yeah. It's interesting because Zhu Peng's one of the main scorers on this team right now. He's got 12.
If you're Qatar right now, you're probably hoping that you could take advantage while Guo is out of the game.
Yeah.
Big fella brings it up.
Coach has just looked down the bench. Who can I get in for poor defense there from Gu Xuan? He's having a look. Yeah, pointing the finger. Get him out of there.
Mizo's got it up top. Puts his head down, and this time he's blocked by number 5, Liu. You think it's going to be? Oh, it's going to be Liu that comes out. Nope. There he comes. So what would you tell him as he exits the floor?
Gu?
Yeah.
Well, if you're in the press, you've got to go with the dribbler, but without fouling, without reaching. You've got to be able to react to his speed that he's going to try and beat you off on the dribble. It's a poor place to give up a foul. You know, you can't waste fouls.
Pick and roll. Saad couldn't get it to him, so he gets a cross court. El Hadari, who drives in and misses.
A quiet game, El Hadari, isn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty loud the other night.
Yet to score.
Now Saad has it. Good hands from Mizo. Is that not an unsport? Oh,
Jeff.
well, Saad was asking for it, and it was almost as if the light bulb went off inside the referee's head. And he says, "Yeah, I think that was."
And I think this is a good call, but
it just took him a minute to register.
And it took Al Saad. It wasn't going to come unless Saad put his hands up.
So an opportunity here, potential 4 or 5 point trip down the floor for Qatar. And Saad makes both. So he does a good job asking for it, although I don't like to see that personally. But you know what? If he asked for it and he got it, I guess you got to say he did the right thing. And Good job from Hu to block the shot, so they limit the damage.
And good job for Qatar. I thought they went to the right place, trying to get 2 points.
Hu. And look at Saad hustle, and the ball I think is going to go off China and go to Qatar. Yeah, I think that's right. Chinese Taipei concurs, agrees with the Australian referee.
I think the Australian referee didn't want to make the call because it wasn't his, but when the other referee was undecided,
yeah, he made the
he'd
call.
seen it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're supposed to do. Spin move. Saad explodes to the lane, and he gets blocked by Hu again.
Yeah,
suddenly Hu joins the SWAT team.
Yeah, and you know, Saad's just got to come up with a bit more subtlety in that move, because Hu knows where it's going to go.
Well, he's been so prolific, almost driving to the basket, but
yeah.
Nice drive. Oh, it doesn't finish. Strong move. It doesn't complete the move. Now Li Gan gets in and puts it in.
Nice move there from Li Gan. Just puts that lead back up to 9. They can't quite get into double figures and keep it there, can they?
El Hadari passes up the long one, drives, and China are going up and challenging those shots as they get into the lane. Look at that replay made.
El Hadari 3 fouls. He didn't want to get involved at all, did he? He wanted to pick up his 4th and got right out the way. Still searching for his first point. Mansour El Hadari, the number 6 for Qatar.
So
back to 8.
Back to 8. Slow to register the points. Now they are. There you go. China not pulling away, but still relatively comfortable here. You think that if Qatar put their minds to it, they could get a little run here. And Saad is fouled in the backcourt with 1:17 to go.
2 shots to come here. Yu De Hao is fouled. He might get a little ticket to the bench here. Well, Liu's going to come out.
Qatar have lost their opportunity to make some headway while Guo was out of the game because he's back.
Yeah. That's the in to close this game out. That's what Du Feng will think here.
Saad has had his struggles at the line, hasn't he, in this tournament?
Well, he's 2 of 3 in his 23-point performance.
He's now
against
3 of 7.
Iraq. Yeah, it's just more today than anything.
Oh, it was only 2 of 3.
Yep.
Okay. I must have only remembered the one miss and played it over and over again in my mind. 7-point game. See if Guo can bring some inspiration. Get it to the corner to Li Gan. He goes baseline. What? Well, they had a foul to give. Salem.
Yeah, and it's only his 2nd foul as well, so that's probably smart play from Omer Salem.
Well, but the way he executed it, it was a little...
he wasn't going to come out in any defensive position, there was. He was
no.
Completely upright when he came out.
The drive and move and the follow. Well, Hu is making an impact here in the 3rd quarter on both ends.
And you know what? He's got a big upside, I think, the 21 for China. Hu? Yep, that's him.
Saad. That's a 3 if it goes, and it doesn't. And Hu collects the rebound. Hu does. And Guo, hoping he was going to get the foul, but is going to be disappointed. Ball goes back to Qatar. So they're going to pressure the ball as they bring it up. El Hadari. Dribbles to free himself. Oh, nice pass to Saad, and again, Hu was there on the mark. And Hu puts it up. So Hu becoming a factor here in this game when China need him most. Raises his level and helps them maintain a 9-point lead with 10 minutes remaining.
Look at those stats there, Jeff. Qatar have slipped off the edge underneath 50%, but China 61%. They only missed 10 shots in the arc and 12 outside the arc. 6 3-pointers for them against a lot of Qatari zone defensive play. They're not out of the woods yet. They lead by 9 with 10 minutes to play. There's definite elements that China have got the ability to close this one out, but it's going to take a lot of hard work over the first 5 minutes of this fourth quarter, I feel. Looking at scorers in the game, 17 for Guo, 12 for Shou Peng, and then Hu only has 3 points. That's very surprising. The number 21 for China, the big 7-footer. See some great highlights here. Saad for Qatar has 18, following up his 23 against Iraq. So he'll be one of the top 5 leading scorers in this tournament, I would think. I would imagine Fadi El Khatib will be the overnight leader. Fan has 13, but most of them came in the first half. Nobody else in double figures for Qatar, and all to play for here. Must win for both teams, because a second loss will put them in danger of finishing third in this division.
Okay, so, you know, the likes of New Zealand, Australia, some of these other teams that might be sizing up Qatar and China as potential opponents. They're probably not quaking in their boots watching this game, are they, Mick?
No.
And the drive from Saad. And Hu gets the rebound. Li Gen up on the break and lays it up and in.
Nice work from Li Gen. I'm surprised he didn't hand it off to, or push it ahead to, Wu Qian. You know, if Qatar are 1 rebounder away from being a fairly decent team here.
Philippines, the way they beat China the other day, I mean, you just get the feeling that was not the opponent they needed to face that day. But then after they lose that game, China,
fire and brimstone.
Yeah, you would expect them to come out breathing fire today against Qatar, and they have not been breathing fire.
Nope.
Now, whose responsibility is that?
Don't get me started, Jeff.
Is this Coach Dufeng's responsibility?
Nope.
Is it? I mean, you've got your best player on the court breathing fire. Guo, he's playing hard.
It's your players. Your players have to. Every player's responsibility is to get themselves ready to play at the certain level you're expected to play at.
Okay, but don't you call a timeout and chew them out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give them the hair dryer treatment.
Sometimes you can shout as much as you want to, but it's right now, it's almost as if it's a mindset for these guys.
Again.
Nice work.
Fades back and puts it up and in. It's almost as if they know they can kind of cruise to victory today.
All right, so.
Is that fair?
No, I don't think so. No, I think there's.
No, they think so.
No, I don't think so. I think that's fine. I think they know they got a game on their hands. They do. They don't know. They should know now. But go back to 2010 when they were in the World Championship. Jeff, did you cover them at all, any of their games? No, they went out I'm not sure they made the knockout stage. No, they did. So you might have covered one of their games. But they were a fighting team, Jeff. That's my point. They were a fighting team. Now, there were some great videos online of them having fights and literal fights in games, but that's not the intensity I'm looking for here. It's that dig in and play some hard-nosed defense. Now we saw it against the Philippines, so it should come out somewhere.
Well, Guo's got it, puts it up, and nails it. His sheer ability, look, we got to use the word quality, has just been all the difference.
Yeah, he's money.
If he's not here, if he's not playing his game, Qatar are, what, 10 points ahead now?
Yeah, and you know what, Jeff? That shouldn't happen at the national team level, is it? You shouldn't just be able to take one player away and all of a sudden it becomes that much of a difference. There should be 3 or 4 players punching their weight at the top level.
1 second here and 10 seconds here. So we have to pass the ball inside. They pressure you, and keep it dribbling. Pass the ball inside.
第二个我们还打一个前头。
On defense now, we got Mansour and Abdurrahman here.
China are ranked 14 in the world. Is that a fair assessment? 15 is Venezuela.
They go with the ball. That's one they're skipping.
And 16 Nigeria. Look at the teams above China or below China in terms of rankings. Greece 13, 12 Slovenia, 11 Croatia, 10 Australia.
Okay.
See, to me, Australia should be ranked 10.
For the ball,
you think it should be higher?
Well, especially after the
Olympics,
yeah. Right, so I'm not sure how the rankings are done.
It's over a 6-year period. So
yeah, well,
they got to the round of 16 of the 2014 World Cup.
It should be more a modern thing, shouldn't it? Where you are right now, not historically
that's what I mean.
over the last 6 years.
No, 6 years.
Yes, yeah,
that's
6 years. I meant to say 6. Argentina at 6.
Well, there's an explanation if you go to FIBA.com/rankingmen to tell you how those rankings, how they come up with it. You get so many points for World Cups, so many for Olympic appearances, and what have you. So, quick drive, and now it's up to 68-52, and it looks like China are going to win this. And the pass from Yahia to Irfan Ali Saeed.
Did I hit him in the chest?
I think it hit him in the face.
Get your hands up. Yeah, so right now, what, 2:15 gone in this quarter. They've quietly stretched this lead out. Guo has 22.
So, Li Yin into the corner, and the shot is good from number 33 of China. And that would be Wu. Now quickly to Yahia, and it's just gotten out of hand. 19 points now. You know, the upset was there for Qatar if they wanted it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they just have not. They haven't dug in. And it's that same type of spirit that they were lacking the other night, which cost them severely against Iraq. And look at Guo dancing around against Yahia. Oh, that was a little bit of showtime.
Love it.
Yahia
That
says,
was tremendous, wasn't
how
it?
did I end up guarding him?
Mohammed, oh no.
Goodness me. Mohammed. Oh boy, that is pretty, that is just a snapshot of his entire game, Mohammed.
That's my bad, coach.
Bringing the ball up the floor.
Yeah, tough one. He knows it.
Turns it over to Yahia. Excuse me, to Hu. And Hu just goes in for the two-handed jam.
Look over the shoulder from Hu just to make sure that he was going to get the free runway.
Don't forget, he committed the foul, his 4th foul, just to stop the fast break.
Yes.
The 3rd quarter.
Yes, he did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So for Qatar, it is just not happening, and now it looks like all of their hopes, even though they've got 66 minutes and 40 seconds, all their hopes are going to rest on beating the Philippines. And that's not going to be an easy task.
And you know what? They've been there for 30 minutes, 28 minutes maybe, 28 minutes, 29 minutes. So it's a good performance, but they're going to come up short here. And China really just about.
I think saying a good performance is probably a bit generous. I would say it's been
for Qatar.
Yeah, for Qatar.
Oh yeah, I guess it's just the fact they've been in the game for 28 minutes.
Yeah, but much of that was owed to the opposition today, really. I mean, we haven't really seen the best of China yet in this competition. Maybe with the exception of the third quarter against the Philippines.
China won't get an easy game against Iraq, Jeff. That'll be an interesting matchup. It will not be an easy game for them to play.
They'll get after them a little bit more. Al-Matouk dribbles down, puts it up, and scores with the left hand.
That's a nice move, Al-Mufta, isn't it? Abdulrahim Al-Mufta.
Second drive that he scored today.
Nice to see coach put the bench players on, just to give them a bit of experience here.
Well, he's the only one who's put in. Here's another three-pointer from Guo. Yeah, it just really does beg the question. I'm just curious to see how he would perform perhaps in a different environment domestically. And here's Saad exploding. Muhammad gets it over to Mizo. And Guo with the rebound. Just look at Guo's numbers. The drive and the foul on Al-Mufta. So his numbers are, let's see, 17 points.
No, he's got 27, Jeff. The stats haven't uploaded.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately.
I thought that was right.
Yeah, he's got 27 points.
He had, by halftime, he already had 12 points. Is that right? So he's actually had an even bigger second half.
Yeah. Nice work from Hu here. A missed shot from Chopin in the corner. Cleaned up nicely. Oh, it's Ren with the three-pointer. Hu's got a big upside. My only problem for Hu, Jeff, what position do you play him? I don't think he's a true five. I don't think he has the body size, the mass, if you would like, to play the five. Therefore, you put him at the four. Therefore, can he guard a stretch four at the top level? Putting some good questions your way, aren't I? And when you go to the top teams, stretch fours, they're so important for teams.
They are. So here's Hu, still a teenager.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where they want to develop his skills, at the four position or the five. Nine rebounds for the game. He's
well, he's not shy about putting it up.
no, only has 6 points now for the game.
Don't forget, he was averaging double-doubles, points and rebounds through the youth ranks for China.
Yeah. We saw him at the 17s and 19s worlds, didn't we?
Hadari hands it off to Irfan Ali Saeed, and he gets a lot of backboard there. Now, offensive foul on Ren. And telegraph pass, Red. And then El Hadri almost gets it back. Guo ends up with an open three and hits it. He really does. Be great to get his hit. There you go, 5 of 7 from 3.
Yeah.
30 points. And the drive and the basket.
Nice move from Al Muftar again. He's done well getting to the hoop, hasn't he?
Wonder how much his endorsements, Guo Ailun, have kind of boosted his confidence and made him go out and work harder, because he does look like he's obviously he wasn't as impactful at the Olympics last year.
What were his numbers at the Olympics then?
Not great. The drive inside and Lee Gin. What's the story?
Offensive foul against Lee Gin. He won't be very upset with that. You know, he likes to put his body around, that's for sure.
Well, you remember that China lost all of their games, right?
Yeah.
In Rio. So he averaged 10 points a game, 10.2, 4.8 assists. Long shot, good. Under 3:50 remaining. Irfan Ali Saeed. You can look at his numbers and think, wow, he's had a great game, but he had a good first half. But the question is with Guo, how did he do against which teams? 5 turnovers, 4 assists against the USA.
I'm not sure what's going on with Guo now, because that's just, look, he's just shooting everything.
What a shot. He threw that thing up there so hard off the glass, I thought, bring out the repairman. And then it spun around and went in. Arias picks up the foul. Look at this. Watch how hard he throws it up.
He felt he was almost horizontal when he threw it up, wasn't he? Guo's going to come out here, Jeff. I wonder if Du Feng is just a little bit upset with me mentality there in terms of just jacking up everything.
Here we are complimenting him.
Well, no, but yeah, and it's a good, again we go back to it. He's got 30 points up on the board. He's got a great game, but at what point does it all fit into the grand scheme of things in the team? I mean, when have you seen a Chinese guard ever run a gun? Ever in your life, Jeff? Doesn't happen very often, does it? Who's the last run and gun guard you saw at the national team level?
Let me think about this. Here we go. El Hadari dumps it off. Arias.
Nice work there from Arias.
Former California Tech man.
Okay, come on in.
Last run and gun.
Yeah, come on in. Let's get into
I watch a lot of European basketball, so it's.
Yep. Well, you've watched a few World Championships. How about Carlos Arroyo?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess he would qualify.
Nick Gallis.
Was he a run and gunner?
Yeah.
That was before my time.
Yep. Well, and before mine. No. 2 shots here for the veteran Gen Lee. Lee Gen.
So you're suggesting that Guo was running and gunning. He's not a run and gun guard, but he was running and gunning there, and that's what got him out of the game.
You know,
okay, I'll tell you a run and gun guard. The last one that I've seen.
Yep.
All the Filipino players, never mind guards.
Come on, Jim.
They're run and gun, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just how they play.
They're electric with a capital E.
So,
Jeff, go back and watch the tape of this game, right?
Yeah.
Guo makes his 30th point on a 3. He puts both arms up in the air to celebrate the 3. I'm saying, well, hang on, Guo, there's nobody in the arena. Who you saluted?
Good point. So he gets it from the Chinese league, you mean?
I don't know. It's just,
and they get it from the Americans that are there, or the imports,
quite
possibly.
Yeah. Sorry,
Ahmad Al-Darwish.
First time he's been on the floor, Darwish, isn't it? I think he played some time in the.
It's kind of like when you're getting beat by 30 points, and then and you dunk on somebody, and then you stare at them. It doesn't make sense, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
To celebrate.
It's out of context.
Yes.
Completely out of context.
Last night when New Zealand are playing against Lebanon, and every play you could do that because
we got 6,000 people in the gym. Yeah, absolutely.
Or more. How many people were here last night?
Nice looking shot there from Yahia that went a bit short.
Again, whips it out, traveling. The call on Gu has had a tough old time, hasn't
he? And he's gonna feel the icy stare from coach, who's just clapping him back on defense. But he's walking, Jeff. That's what I hate to see. Get to your spot. You're gonna get somewhere run.
Al-Hadari loses it. And the foul from Al-Hadari. Well, it's just been not to dampen the enthusiasm for anybody, but I think you'd agree it really hasn't been the greatest game. It hasn't really come to life, has it?
No, China have not been firing all cylinders. That was obvious in the first half. But, you know, credit to them. They ended the third period, started the fourth period. They turned on the burners, and all of a sudden the game was out of sight. And this man here, big upside, who is going to get his double-double in a minute, I think, isn't he? It's 10 points.
He's a double-double machine.
I prefer the way the Spanish say it, Jeff, the doble-doble.
Doble-doble, yeah. And Lee Gin bows to everyone as he leaves the court.
Has every player done that? I did see it just now. Yeah, I'm not sure every player has done that walk up the floor. Yeah.
Final 2 minutes. Saad has it. Here he is, Arias on the baseline. And the drive, and Saad reaches in, and disconsolate looks from the Qatari players. They realize their chances of moving on are pretty limited now. 0-2, they got the Philippines coming up.
That'll be a fun game.
Well, it might be fun for the Filipinos. And the drive, and another basket.
Nice play from Gu. Yeah, nice little work there.
But you think on the evidence that we've seen, really there's no hope for China getting to the podium?
Oh no, Jeff, I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't.
You think they could still rise from the ashes?
Yeah, I mean they've got some. They've got three very good players in Hu, Chopin, and Guo Ailun. Now, if you can find two more to go into that, two more heroes along the way in the next 6 or 7 days, there's always a chance.
You know, talking about the ramifications of last night's game, Lebanon and New Zealand, and how that's kind of opened things up in that side of the bracket, so to speak.
There's some good news from Lebanon, because if it's a three-way tie and Korea beat New Zealand in 2 days' time, tomorrow,
it'll be Lebanon.
Lebanon cannot finish third in the three-way tie. I've done my maths, Jeff.
Okay.
So they can finish first or second, so they're through. That means that either Korea or New Zealand will be first, second, or third. They can come in either of those positions with the points differential.
But Korea need to beat New Zealand by 5 to finish first.
Yeah, and that may put New Zealand in third.
If that were to happen.
Yep.
And the drive. And we all know the nature of an easy one for Al Mufta. We all know the nature of international competition. Just because New Zealand got the big win last night doesn't mean they're going to beat Korea.
No, that's exactly right. There's nothing guaranteed about that Korean New Zealand.
If New Zealand do go ahead and clinch first place, and they do beat Korea, it's looking pretty good for them, going pretty far in the tournament, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
You know, maybe we were thinking maybe they would have a straight shot to the semifinals.
Yep, they'd have some games they could definitely eye and say we can get this one. No powerhouses. We think there might be an Australia-China set in the quarterfinal.
Oh, so New Zealand could face Australia in a quarterfinal?
No, I think the way it's looking, if all things work the way we should, New Zealand finish top, they will face Australia perhaps in the semi-final.
Okay.
And Australia will play China, we think, or I think, in the quarterfinal.
Okay.
So a couple of tough games there for Australia heading out.
It's something to keep an eye on.
Yu Dae Hao here, the youngster.
Yep. Taking his time. So China pretty much punching their ticket to the next phase of this competition with this win. And Yahia up ahead to Saad. He's going to launch one. Spins, gets in, puts it back up, and 2 shots are going to be awarded to Saad. So we can't wrap things up yet because Saad needs to go to the line. And Saad's like, am I going to take these shots or not?
Not quite the final score.
Nope. It may be if he misses both. 92-66. But Saad is taking his free throws.
Well, everybody else is shaking hands.
So 92-67. And if he makes this one, somebody tell the guy in the booth, the graphics. So it's 92-77. 67, sorry. 92-67 is the final for China over Qatar. And we hope that you enjoyed that. China getting a little bit of respect back after falling in their first one. There you go, 92-67. That was a bit of an odd finish the way they called the foul right at the end. It was easy to see how that could have been missed. And really, you know, it remains to be seen if China are on track. They're going to have to show us a little bit more to make us believers.
And the stats, unfortunately for Qatar, their numbers fell down. 19 of 40 inside, and China 63%, 23-36. 10 threes for China, 6 for Qatar. Free throws probably about even, although 61% for Qatar. They'll think they probably missed a few opportunities. Rebounding heavily in favor of China in the end. It was fairly level at halftime. 18 assists to 9, and fouls fairly even. Turnovers very respectable, both teams. I think that's one thing that's really impressed me over the last couple of days. The excellent work done by both teams in looking after the ball.
Saad had 19 to lead the way for Qatar. Guo had the 30. Mohammed, no surprise there, 5 turnovers leading the way. Not a performance he's going to want to write home about.
So 3 players, I think, in double figures for China: Guo, Li, and Zhou Peng. And for Qatar, Saad and Ali Irfan Saeed with 18. Al Mufta, Jeff, managed to get into the 3rd top scorer. I think he must have played only 5 minutes. Little number 10 for Qatar.
So next, we'll have more coming your way today here from the FIBA Asia Cup. It'll be the Philippines and Iraq. And as you look at the highlights and lowlights of this game, you'll remember that it was a 92-67 finish. And Guo, we wanted to talk about what specifically his numbers were. And as you said, he kind of chucked it up a little bit there at the end. He was 11 of 17 overall from the floor. And this is what you're talking about here. Why is he doing this if nobody is here to see it?
Yes.
And I tend to agree with you. So maybe the cameraman? Is that why? 6 of 9 inside the arc, 5 of 8 from long range. He had 30 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. That was Guo Ailon. And he also had a steal. And Hugh, the young man, had 11 points and 12 rebounds. And he also blocked 3 shots. So those were probably the picks, the top players. Here is the young man. We were just talking about Hugh with the steal off the lackadaisical play of Mohammed. And here's Guo. Look at this. Is this the run and gun show that you're talking about?
This was the little flick shot. This is superb. But
that was probably the play of the game. Even though the game was already won and done.
High degree of difficulty, mind you, but he came off for him. All credit to him.
And for Qatar, just a second half performance they'd rather forget. Irfan Ali Saeed ended up with the 18 points and the 7 rebounds. China 16 fast break points, 9 fast break points for Qatar. 57 points from the bench for China, just 22 for Qatar. You've been watching the FIBA Asia Cup. More to come your way today. Thanks for checking us out.